it is a historic class. Very, very good. One of the best classes to come in the last 10 years. And at the top for me is Dalton Kincaid. Does he belong in a tier of his own? Let's debate it. Goes pick 25, first tight end off the board to the Bills. And I think this is a perfect fit. Yes, I know Dawson Knox is there. Yes, I know Dawson Knox had double-digit touchdowns just 2 seasons ago, and he's a big favorite of Josh Allen. Kincaid is 3 levels ahead of Dawson Knox as an athlete, as a player. He's definitely still developing as a blocker, but we don't give a shit about that. For fantasy, we need the guy that just led the FBS in tight ends and receiving yards, 74.2, receptions per game, 5.8, ahead of Michael Mayer, who's often considered one of the best tight end prospects of this class. I think it's Kincaid. He's got a basketball background, so he's got nice fluid movement. You always hear about the Jimmy Grahams and the boarding it out in the red zone. That's where he's going to be an absolute monster. Immediately, day one, 10-plus touchdown upside. If Dawson Knox can catch 10 touchdowns from Josh Allen, Kincaid could catch 15. That's how much better he is. He's got literally Rob Gronkowski type of upside within this insanely explosive scheme. 6'4", 246, great ball skills, great fluidity for that size. I think this is not even a tight end. This is a big slot on a team that desperately wants a slot. McKenzie didn't do shit. Shakir maybe develops. We'll see. I like the kid, but Kincaid could be their legitimate day one and all season starter in the slot as a big body tight end. Unbelievable upside with him. Belongs in your fantasy first rounds. The only tight end, I believe, that has that type of upside. So after Kincaid, though, who's next? The clear number one. Don't think it's debatable. This is where the debates come in. Michael Mayer, or do we have Sam LaPorta? Let's discuss the strengths and weaknesses of both and pick one overall. Let's start with Michael Mayer. It's the third tight end off the board, pick 35, ranked as Dane Brugler's tight end 1, 6'4", 250 pounds. Oh, he's a big boy. You got to like that. He's decent as a blocker, but like I just said with Kincaid, we do not care about that. Very controlled athleticism for his size, very strong after the catch, great through contact, very good intangibles. Everybody just raves about how hard he works. He can play inline. He can play split out. He had 61.9 of his snaps inline, 40% nearly out wide. And in a program that is known, Notre Dame, great tight ends. 14 Irish players have been drafted at the position since 2001. He lit up. He set positional records for single season and career with catches, receiving yards, and receiving. Again, good body control, great ball skills, productive underneath, big seam target. And now he goes to a Raiders team that just traded away Darren Waller. He could immediately step in to that Darren Waller role and thrive. The Raiders led the NFL with 17 inside the 10 targets, 51 and a half of them vacated after Waller departed, 191 total targets up for grabs, top 10 in the NFL. A wide open number 2 role other than Devontae Adams is up for grabs. And we know Matt McDaniels in the past, when he has elite tight end prospects, has maximized them to the fullest. So if Meyer lives up to his college pedigree at the NFL level, he's got the perfect coach, the perfect opportunity in terms of vacated targets to do some great damage. But Sam LaPorta also lands in an amazing spot. He's the second tight end off the boards. He comes from the tight end factory of Iowa and was the best tight end by the numbers to play there. He was the all-time leader in receptions, 153 at the tight end position. He played a ton split out wide, 49.4% in line, and then more slots, more snaps actually coming from the slot or out wide, 50.6% of his snaps out wide. You love to see this. It's a program known for breeding the tight ends, and he, like I just said, was among the best. He makes himself available mid-route. He knows where to drop and sit in the zones. He has very strong functional strength as a pass catcher. Not great as a blocker, but that's what I think the common theme with these tight ends. We don't care about that. He is insane speed as well. Nearly ran a 4.59 at 6'3", 240 pounds. That's a ridiculous size speed. And then you look at the competition, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra. Should I even say competition at this point? He even took LaPorta 3 snaps out of the Wildcat. Such a Dan Campbell guy, just knows to the grindstone. Let's get it going. They were so pumped. Just as pumped as they were for Jamar Gibbs, they were nearly as pumped on those pre-draft videos to get Sam LaPorta. They had the chance to get Michael Mayer. They took LaPorta instead for the higher athleticism upside. To me, I'm picking between them, though. They both have great places. I like Michael Mayer just a little bit more as a player, as a historic track record. I think they both are in beautiful landing spots, beautiful situations. But I think Michael Mayer, I just like a little bit more as a player, and he edges him out as my tight end too. Now, the best of the rest is only 2 names I want to highlight, and then it's on to all of your questions. We're up to 13 now. Love it. Hey, keep them coming in, Wolfpack. We're going to get to those momentarily. But the 2 Lukes highlight the best of the rest. Musgraves, 4th tight end off the board, pick 42 to Green Bay. Brugler's tight end 3. And then Luke Schoonmaker, the 5th tight end off the board, pick 58, going to the Cowboys. This is going to be the classic debate. Which one do you go for? It's the talent versus the situation. Let's highlight both for each of these guys. Musgraves is the one edging out the talent. He's a very great, impressive size, speed athlete, a gazelle. He was a high school track type of athlete, lacrosse player, skiing, one of those versatile just athletes that really can get it done. Got great hip fluidity as both a pass catcher and a blocker. He must continue to kind of, he's new to the game and is a little bit raw in that sense, but as a raw athlete, I mean, he is just dynamic at all levels. High-level athlete, good route runner, definitely a solid blocker compared to the other guys. So complete tight end, maybe the best, and he's still really developing. So I'm very intrigued to see what he does. He's certainly the player. Plus, you got Green Bay wide open depth chart here. They did draft another really impressive tight end there in Tyler Kraft, but I personally, or Tucker Kraft rather, I personally prefer Musgraves there. And then you got Luke Schoonmaker, who lands in the best spot for a tight end in the entire draft. Let's see what he can do here. He himself, not overly awe-inspiring. He's efficient in his route. He catches the ball decently, but he doesn't do much after the catch. Only 4 of his 52 receptions have gone over 25 yards. Just kind of an average guy. He's got size. He's got speed. He's got the strength to be more. We just didn't really see much of that. But maybe he doesn't need that much more of it because Dalton Schultz was nothing special, and he saw 89, 104, and 89 targets across his last 3 years. All of those were among the top 5 for tight ends. Dak loves to throw to his tight end, and Schoonmaker doesn't have to be anything special. He could just have a quarterback that wants to pepper him, and maybe that's all we need. I do think Musgrave gets the slight edge as my tight end 4 here because he has such a higher ceiling just as a player with a similar potential path to volume. But I do know Schoonmaker will probably make the more immediate year 1 impact given how often Dak and the Cowboys like to pepper the position. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.